Right, GAP Math students, this is a video for the intro to percents, ratios, and proportions. Numbers, objectives 81 and 82. So it's going to be a shorter one. Both that because there's only two objectives and because they really don't take too long to explain. So get out your intro PRP packet. Get to the page where it has objectives 81 and 82, and we will go over the notes for this. Not too many notes. First thing I'll kind of do on the side before we look at actual examples is just explaining what ratios are. So the two objectives here are word problems: determine a ratio using whole numbers less than 50, and then determine if ratios using whole numbers less than 50 are equivalent. So what a ratio is basically just comparing two values, okay? And there's a couple different ways of writing it. Okay, so that's just what I'm going to write on the side over here. So a ratio can be written out with kind of the word 2 in the middle. So if I said the ratio 4 to 6, okay, if I wrote it like this with what's called a colon, that is also 4 to 6. Or it can be written as a fraction with the first number on top and the second number on the bottom. So you could say that's 4/6 as a ratio, or you could still say 4 to 6. Okay. Also, and that stuff, you should be writing that down. So these are all the same. Okay. Also, ratios can be simplified. Okay, so if we had the ratio 4 to 6 as written in any sort of form of these three, what you'd want to do if it said to simplify a ratio, you would want to write it in the fraction form. Okay, and then you try to simplify a fraction. So you're looking for a number that goes into both of these. So 4 and 6 are both even numbers, so 2 goes into both. So we divide the top and bottom by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so again, we could write it like that, as 2 to 3 is a 2/3. We could change that to 2 to 3, or we could say like that. So all of these that I've written up here are all the same thing. Okay, so that's just kind of a quick summary of the ratios. So now we're not gonna go in order. We're just gonna, I think, just 4 total problems today, and we're done. First type of problem we're gonna look at is writing a ratio. Okay, so we're gonna skip 82 and 83 to start out with here, and we're gonna look at 84 to begin with. It says they're baking brownies for a school party. The recipe makes 15 brownies and calls for 1 cup of sugar and 3 eggs. What is the ratio of brownies to eggs? So again, you have to look at what's the information given to you, but also, more importantly, you have to look at what the question is asking. So there might be some values in here that we don't need. Okay, so the biggest thing is don't look at the numbers given to you. I mean, notice them, but don't think, okay, I got to use the 15 first, and then the 1, and then the 3, or something like that. It wants the ratio of brownies to eggs. Okay, so brownies to eggs. So what ends up going to happen is we don't need this number 1 here. That's about sugar. We want what goes together for brownies and eggs. When we have 15 brownies, we are going to use 3 eggs. Okay. When there's 15 brownies, there's 3 eggs. Those go together. Okay, so that's our ratio. Now, if we look, that answer is not over here. Okay, and the reason why is it's not simplified. So I usually don't even write out this in this form. I write it as a fraction right away. Whatever they ask for first, that goes on top. So they ask for brownies first. that goes on top, and eggs second, so that goes on the bottom. Now we're going to simplify this. We look at 15 and 3, and we got to find a number that goes into both. Okay, well, 3, the only numbers that go into 3 are 1 and 3. And so we got to say, does that work for the top? Yeah, 3 goes into 15. So we're going to divide the top and the bottom by 3. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then because they write them in this form, we're just going to change that. Top number goes first. Bottom number goes second. And it's a 5-to-1 ratio. Okay. That means for every 5 brownies you have, you're going to have to use 1 egg. Okay. Let's do another one like that. Let's do the bottom one here, number 86. Making breakfast for the family. The pancake recipe is using requires 6 tablespoons of butter and 3 eggs. The recipe makes 12 pancakes. What is the ratio of eggs to pancakes? Now, again, the key, we have to go eggs to pancakes. Okay, eggs to pancakes. So that means the number that represents eggs goes first, pancakes second, or if we're doing a fraction, eggs on top, pancakes on bottom. So all these go together, 6 tablespoons of butter and 3 eggs. That is what is needed to make 12 pancakes. So eggs to pancakes, eggs, pancakes. Now the order that they tell you the numbers means nothing. Like here, they give you a 6 first. That's not even in the problem. Okay. They could change this and say, to make 12 pancakes, we need 6 tablespoons of butter and 3 eggs. The answer is still the same because the question specifically says eggs to pancakes. So we would use 3 eggs to get 12 pancakes. The answer is not given there. Okay, 3 to 12 is not listed over here. So 3 goes into both 3 and 12. Okay, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And 1 over 4 translates to 1 to 4. Okay, so that is letter D. Okay, I think that might be all we need to do for those, for that type. Okay, I'll let you try some. If you have questions on that, let me know. But again, those one is always look at how they ask the question. Whatever they say first in the question, okay, goes first or on top. Second, it goes second or on the bottom. It doesn't matter how they say it, how they give you the information. That order does not matter. It's for the question. Okay. The next type of problem that they're going to ask is they're going to give you a ratio and they're going to say which of the following ratios is equivalent to that. So number 82, they give you a ratio of 15 to 13, and they want to know which one of these 3 or which one of these 4 is equivalent to that, meaning the same. So there's a couple different ways of doing this. Okay. One thing you can do to find equivalent is you can reduce them or multiply the top and bottom by the same number. So like 4 to 6 or 4 to 6 and 2 to 3 are equivalent ratios. Okay, we roll them as a fraction, and we're able to reduce them. Here it's not, sometimes it'll be that simple, but it's not always that simple. So here I'm going to write them as fractions just because I like working with them as fractions better. So that's what we have. Okay, so there's a couple different ways you could do this. Okay, so one way is to write this as a decimal. Okay, and so if I take 15 divided by 13, we get 1.153. 3, 8, and then some other numbers. Okay, so then what I would do to test these, you could rewrite them as fractions. Otherwise, you take first divided by seconds. That's the same as top divided by bottom. So if I did the first one, 30 divided by 39, that gives me 0.76 something something. So that's out. Next one, 45 divided by 26. I get 1.73 something something something. That's out. Next one, 45 divided by 39. That gives me the 1.53, oh, sorry, 1.1538. Same thing as I got up here, so that should be my answer. And I test them. It could either be done, or you can test the last one, 39 divided by 30. That's 1.3, so that's out. Okay, so that's one way to do it. The other way you could do it is pick one of the numbers, the top or bottom, and you're looking over here and say, what would I have to do to the top, the first number or the top number to get the first number over here? So 15 to 30, I'd have to multiply by 2. If I multiply the bottom by 2, I'd get 26, which doesn't match up here, so that's out. Here, to get from 15 to 45, I'd have to multiply by 3. So if I took 13 by 3, that would be 39, so that's out. This one, same thing, 45 is first. 15 times 3 is 45, so take the bottom by 3, it's 13. Or sorry, 39. 13 times 3 is 39, so that's our answer. Okay, so you could either keep it as fractions or you can change it to decimal. So I'll do this one in the reverse order. I'll do it fraction first, and then I'll do decimal, and then we'll be done. So here, 5 to 2, I like to write them as a fraction, so 5 over 2. So this one's a little harder. Let's see, 5 to 8. There's nothing I can multiply and get from 5 to 8. And if I did the bottom, 2 to 30, that would be multiplied by 15, and taking the top by 15 would not give me 8. So that one's out. And if this isn't making too much sense, hang in there. I'll show it the decimal way after. Okay, this one, 5 to 30, I would multiply by 6 to get 30. So if I take the bottom by 6, 2 times 6 is 12, not 8, so that's out. To get to 20, I'd have to take 5 times 4 to get to 20. So if I do the bottom by 4, 2 times 4 is 8, not 12, so that's out. Okay, now the bottom one, to get from 5 to 20, I'd have to multiply by 4. Okay, I'll write it out this time just because I know this will be the answer. Now, if I do the bottom by 4, will that equal the 8 needed? Yes, and so that equals that. Okay, if that doesn't make sense to you, then you do it this way. You take your 5 to 2 ratio, type in, you might be able to look at that and know the decimal, otherwise take it in your calculator. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. And now you're going to go through and divide these and see what it equals. The first one, 8 divided by 30, gives you 0.26, and the 6 is repeating. So again, that's out, and we already crossed it out. So we know what the answer is here, but I'm just showing you how. So next one, 30 divided by 8, gives you 3.75. So that's out. The next one, 20 divided by 12, is 1.6 repeating. So that's out. And the last one, 20 divided by 8, that gives us our 2.5. And there's our answer, letter D. Okay, so I don't think we need to do any more of those. There's definitely more that you should do and practice. Okay, again, the answers are at the end here. So do some, check your answers, make sure you're understanding how to do both types of those. Okay, take the notes here, take a picture of it, send it to me. It's nice, it's only one page. And practice some problems. When you feel you're ready for the tests, let me know. It would be test 81 to 82. Okay, you have any questions, let me know.